Hi everyone, it's Jung here for Hip Kit Club. Today I'm sharing another process video of my December documented album. I'm sharing days 21 and 22. I am using the Hip Kit Club December documented kit, the November and December 2019 kits. I really love how all these kits work together so seamlessly and they look perfect in my album. So I already have some photos set up, and I decided on the left side of day 21 I was going to use the pocket page with the 4 3x4 pockets, and on the right side I was going to use the pocket page with the 2 4x6s. And so I'm just stamping the number like I have been doing for my past days. I'm using the number stamp set from the December documented kit, and those are Hip Kit Club exclusives, and I have been absolutely loving using them in my album. So I'm just going to use some red pigment paint, pigment ink, and I'm using my little Misty stamping tool to kind of help me keep things straight. And I stamped the number 1 first, and now I'm stamping the number 2, and I actually stamped it twice because I like it when it has a little bit of a variation. So you see the 2 is a little bit darker than the 1. And I didn't do that every time. That's just something I decided to do this time. And like the other days, I will take the 21 and die cut it into that tag shape that I have been using. And now that there are 2 numbers there, I do have to cut off some of the numbers, but I am completely loving how it looks like that as well. And you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. So I pulled out that little snow globe with the houses. I thought it was really fitting for my day 21. Day 21 is all about decorating gingerbread houses, and so I thought the little snow globe with the houses was really cute. I believe that one is a Hip Kit Club exclusive from the ephemera pack in the November kits, and so I was trying to decide what to back it with, and that journaling card I believe is from the December Pocket Life kit. So I am going to be using that, and then I believe I went to go and die cut my number. Yep, there it is. And I also have been adding the date stamp at the bottom, and I really like how that looks, and I'm loving how I have some consistency with my numbers. I don't use these number tags for every day, but I do like having them repeated throughout the days. So my date stamp didn't quite stamp all the way, and my trick is just to use a fine black pen to kind of fill it in. And then I knew I wanted to have them kind of hang together like that, and that would be the left side. I also need to find a backing paper for that narrow photo. It's an Instagram story screenshot, and I had put it on my Instagram stories, a gingerbread house hack. If you buy the packages that are not assembled together, it could be kind of tedious to build them on your own using the frosting. So I had seen somewhere that somebody used glue guns, especially because you don't really eat these, and you can just hide the seams with the frosting. And so that worked out perfectly, and I just had to include that in my December documented album. So I trimmed down that red snowflake paper to 3x4, and it is a Hip Kit Club exclusive pattern paper from the November kits. And I am going to attach my photo on there with this gold scalloped washi tape. And I have used this washi in my album on a previous day, and we have gotten it, I think, in the spring of this year in a Hip Kit Club kit, and I think it's very holiday-ish, especially with the gold. I like to embellish my pocket page spreads with label stickers and word stickers, and so I chose this Pink Fresh Studio sticker that says Sparkle, and it was an arrow, but I trimmed the sides off so that it wasn't an arrow anymore. It just kind of looks like a label sticker. And I'm also going to end up using a Hip Kit Club exclusive chipboard sticker, and I believe it says, not this one, this one's the puffy sheet, the next one that I looked through, and I believe it says December Memories. Or no, it says December Traditions, and it's that red one to the top left up there. And I believe my camera's going to cut off when I stick it on there, but you'll see I just stick it right on top of the sparkle. Do you see at the top of the screen? Okay, so now I want to embellish this 4x6 photo a little bit. It's a picture of each of my girls with their gingerbread houses that they decorated. And I decided to use the Hip Kit Club exclusive stamp set from the November 2019 kits. And I'm going to use the sentiment that says favorite things because decorating gingerbread houses is one of our favorite December traditions. Again, I'm using my Mini Misty stamping platform and this clear grid sheet to help me line up my sentiment to make sure that it's centered and straight. These are great tools to have if you like stamping, especially now that Hip Kit Club has been coming out with their exclusive stamp sets. These are tools that I highly recommend. I'm using the Stays On ink, which works well on the glossy photo paper. And I'm just going to stamp that twice to make sure that everything's stamped really well. I do want to mention that if you use Stays On inks, you want to clean your stamp off right away. So at this point, I noticed that I didn't even leave any room for journaling. And as I was looking at these photos, I was originally planning on embellishing this photo, but I thought that it had a lot of white space, so I decided why not just add some handwritten journaling right on top. And so I'm going to draw some wonky lines because I definitely cannot draw a straight line to save my life. And then I will add some journaling on it, and through the magic of videos, there is my journaling all done. So this page is pretty much done. I just have to attach the snow globe and the number to that sheet. And I am using some white twine that I have in my stash. And at first I was going to tie it into a bow, but then it doesn't really leave room for the tag to hang. And so I decided just to tie it into a knot. I'm going to use foam tape to adhere the snow globe to my journaling card. And I'm going to end up using some foam tape on my date tag as well. Here's where I decided to just tie one loop and secure it with a knot at the end, and that way the date tag can hang a little bit lower and it doesn't cover up as much of the snow globe as before. Okay, here are some close-ups of my day 21, my journaling card with the snow globe and date tag, my photo with the 2 stickers, my photo with the handwritten journaling. I did add that heart chipboard sticker. It was from the same sticker sheet as the December Traditions. And then I am going to work on day 22 next, so I'm going to set that aside. I am using a large photo on the right, and my day 22 is going to be about wrapping presents, and it's one of my favorite things to do during the holidays. It's really relaxing, and I love making things look pretty. So on the right, there's going to be a 6x8 photo, and then on the left, since I'm working on the back side of day 21, I am still using the pocket page with 2 4x6 slots. And so I decided I would have a embellished one and then a spot for my journaling. I decided to use that 4x6 journaling card that says Santa's Coming. I believe that was in the December documented kit. And then I really wanted to use this sparkly crepe paper that we got in the December 2019 paper kit. And I really love the foiled finish, and I just thought the colors went really well. And I just thought it looked really pretty with a photo next to it. I was debating whether to put my journaling because where the Santa's coming sentiment is kind of awkward, and so I ended up cutting in another Pocket Life journaling card into a tag, and I hand wrote some journaling on it, and you see it on my card there, but I end up not using it, and so I cut out all the video where it shows that I was doing it, and you'll see why I end up not using it here in a second. So the stars and snowflakes that you just saw were the tags that I used on my gifts. And so I thought it would be cute to add it to my album and put my number on the star instead of putting it on a cardstock and cutting it into a tag. And that way I could use some of the product that I actually used to wrap my gifts with. So I went ahead and prepped the star with my powder tool, and you see that I already half created one at the top of the screen, and I messed up. I didn't leave enough spacing for myself, and so this is the second one, and I'm using the Versamark sticky ink because I wanted to use the gold embossing powder that came in the festive December documented color kit. And this is also the gold embossing powder that I've been using throughout the album also. And so I stamped the two twice for 22 with the Versamark ink and then added the gold embossing powder, and now I'm going to heat set it. I really love the way this number turned out. I like that I included the gift tags that I use for gifts. In previous December documented albums, I've included some pieces of the wrapping paper I was using, but I didn't feel that I needed to because I had that photo. But I did like having something from gift wrapping. And I'm also going to use some ribbon that I had left over. I was thinking about that chevron one, but I have used that in my December documented album already. And so I thought I might use this red one. And I like the way that it pops against the pattern paper. And so those are from leftovers from gift wrapping as well. Speaking of leftover gift wrapping paper, that's pretty much what my journaling is about. I wrote that I only got one new roll this year, which is the white one with the hearts, and I got it because I thought it was non-holiday specific. And the rest is leftover from previous years, and in fact the ribbon is leftover from previous years as well. So I'm just going to add the date stamp like I did with the other tags, and then I'm going to trim my ribbon and attach it with a tiny staple, tiny attacher is what it's called. Here you see me adhere it to the journaling card with a foam square, but later on I'll take it off and adhere it to the outside of the page protector. Alright, so off camera I went ahead and typed up my journaling using my typewriter, and I adhered it to the crepe paper star paper because I really loved the way this star number tag turned out and I wanted it on the journaling card. So I thought I was finished, but then I remembered that I wanted to put my big photo into the album outside of the page protector, and so I either had to hole punch the photo, which I didn't want to do because I really liked the way it was cropped, or I could make little attachments where I could hole punch so that it would go in the rings. I hope that makes sense. I'm pretty tongue-tied, I guess. And so this was another 4x6 journaling card that I trimmed down into 2 inches, maybe by 2.5 inches. And so I'm going to score them at the 1-inch line, and then I'm going to fold it and crease it really well using my bone folder. And then you'll see that I use one of the page protectors that I've been using as a template, and I'm going to attach it with a little binder clip, and then I will use that as a guide for punching holes. So I'm going to make 2 of these hole punch tabs, I guess you can call them, and then I will use my page protector again as a guide so that I could adhere my photo on top of these punch tabs and have it be somewhat straight. I'm going to use some strong adhesive. I'm using double-sided score tape. And I'm going to attach one of them and try and get it as straight as I can. But we know that I'm not very great at that, so I did have to pull it up once. And then I am going to add the second portion. Hopefully when I get to day 23 and I have to adhere something to the other side, it will be a little bit easier. Okay, I think that finishes up my December documented days 21 and 22. I'm not sure I'll have any more process videos for my December daily albums, but I definitely will have a flip through once I am finished, so keep a lookout for that. I will have all the links for my blog posts and Hip Kit Club in the info bar below. Please like this video if you enjoyed and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you had an awesome Christmas and Happy New Year.